All right. Another, not to sound like a broken record, another good win for our program. And the game played out just like we had talked about with our student athletes, our staff, and our coaches all week. Last night in the team meeting, this morning in our meetings before kickoff and at halftime. I mean, we knew it was going to be a 60-minute, 3.5-hour battle. Coach Taggart, I've gotten to know a little bit over the last year and a half or so. He's an outstanding football coach, and that is a talented program and team in South Florida. They've got speed. They've got some veterans. Certainly, I thought starting the freshman quarterback gave them a spark offensively, and we knew it was going to be a challenge, a very competitive game going in, and it lived up to that. And, I think at the end of the day, we did enough to win. We made enough plays, and, proud of our young men. This was again, a short turnaround for both programs, which is it's challenging, but you like the exposure that you get nationally with it. And, again, to come away with a win, it's not easy to win football games at any level. So to come away with a win tonight and our kids to continue to grow and improve and get better on a daily basis, very pleased. Any questions?
Second half kind of seemed a little uncharacteristic for you guys on the muff punt, the fumble into the end zone, even the unsportsmanlike. And it just seemed like the second half, in terms of what you guys had done at this point of the season, wasn't there.
I would agree with that. And again, I don't know how many plays we ran in the second half, but a fumble by Ryan Jackson on the opening drive, it seemed like 3-4 plays, and he hits it up the middle. We're down inside the 5. The ball's out. Next thing you know, it's their ball in the 20. Damian Payne has been extremely sure-handed, fielding punts all season. That was a very untimely, certainly muff of South Florida's punt. And then the as uncharacteristic as anything is Kenneth Farrow, our team captain and leader, getting a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty after a play, again in a critical time of the game. So I'd agree with you, and those are things that are teachable, correctable. Again, certainly, as you mentioned, things we hadn't done to this point, and we'll get those fixed and addressed moving forward.
How much of this performance do you attribute to that short turnaround, short week preparation?
Well, I don't know if I, good or bad or positive or negative, can attribute. We had a short turnaround. South Florida had a short turnaround. We were on the road last week at Rutgers. They were at home against Louisville. So, I don't know if anything we did well or poorly could be tied to the short week. It's something. If anytime somebody would ask me, hey, do you want to play 5 days later and be on national TV on a Thursday night, I'd say yes, sign us up. It's great exposure for our program. So, however we played tonight, good or bad, I wouldn't attribute to the short week.
Tony, talk a little bit about the physicality of winning these kind of games.
In what way exactly?
It was a physical, tough matchup, and how that is good for you guys long term.
Well, it's something we talked about. Really, our second bye week is now. Again, I don't take this as though I am looking ahead, but now no more bye weeks. We did have 8 straight games, and we knew they were going to be physical opponents. When you look at the teams we've played since that second bye, when they jog out on the field, they're impressive-looking programs. So they're all going to be physical. We knew that going in, and and they'll all be physical here on out. I think we knew that. As I reference our second bye week, we knew that when we changed conferences and we're going into the American Athletic Conference based on the programs we'd be now playing. So, I think we've addressed it. And I mentioned this before in recruiting for the last 2 classes in terms of our size and physicality, and then I think we've done a great job keeping our players fresh so we can utilize our speed and be as healthy as we can down this stretch, if you will. Mm-hmm. Well, and I think it goes back to a little bit. Again, certainly our young men made plays. Coach Gibbs and our staff made good calls, but it goes back. Part of it, I think, is the message has been consistent from the beginning of the season, and certainly we told them this is the type of game this is going to be. It's going to be a 60-minute physical game And to send our defense back out there, we had great poise on the sidelines. I thought our coaches, staff, and certainly our student athletes did. And send our defense back out there to make a play. We had a lot of confidence in them. We would have rather not have muffed that punt, certainly, but to send them back out there and know that they've got to stop them from scoring a touchdown, I had great confidence in that.
Tony, late the offensive pass interference, did you get a chance to see it at the time, and then just off of that, the ensuing play where Tyus forces the fumble, the fumble, just kind of the turnaround there?
Well, that was you're asking me, did I see the offensive pass interference?
Have you seen it, or I mean,
I did see it.
The moment there of what that play did. I mean, it certainly pushed them back, and your defense responded on the next.
Right. Well, I had a great view of the play. In my mind, I went from no to yes very quickly, and again, it's a judgment call. They thought the receiver for South Florida pushed off to catch the pass, and it was a critical play in this game.
Tony, you said that penalty wasn't characteristic of Kenneth. Did you say anything to him to get his mind set back to where he could go back in the game and would be concentrating on it?
Yeah, without question, absolutely, and it's something I was upset for two reasons. One is we talked about that specifically this morning. Is we're gonna just worry about us and play our style of football. And we talked about it again at halftime. It was a very competitive, if you will, contest out there among both programs. And but anytime, and again, people have different coaching philosophies. If you ever correct a student athlete, it's my philosophy that at some point, whether it's 10 seconds or 10 minutes later, depending on situations, you come back and you build them back up, certainly. And that's uncharacteristic of Kenneth. He knew it right away. And again, we'll all learn from that and move forward. And again, he's one of our best leaders of our 120 student athletes. And what he wants to do more than anything is win.
Coach, it seemed like a lot of your big plays in the passing game came across the middle, short and intermediate passing. Was that something you saw on tape that you could take advantage of?
Yes, it was. We felt like we could attack them a little bit over the middle, and with what we call our quick game as well, and some play action passes. We didn't take as many shots down the field as we had in other games. But and again, I give them credit. They were mixing up some coverages. You saw three true freshman quarterbacks on that field tonight, and I give them credit. In the short week, they mixed up some coverages, tried to disguise some things. They were playing some two deep coverages, which took away some of the deeper throws. So again, offensively, our philosophy is we're going to take what the defense gives us. We felt like we could have some success over the middle.
Tony, you maintain, that you keep this team focused week to week. A minute to enjoy this one, but now you're looking ahead. I mean, I know it's quick, but you've got a pretty big one next week.
Who do we play?
Central Florida.
Yeah, that's right.
2 unbeaten.
That's right. No, what I told our young men is to enjoy this one. And you say quick. This week was quick, and now we've got a little bit more time. Again, going off of the physical nature of this game tonight, and the short turnaround coming off another physical game at Rutgers. Tomorrow, our staff's going to go recruiting. Other than the coordinators, I've got a 7 a.m. flight, as do 4 of our other coaches. Our young men are going to go to class, and then we're going to have meetings with the coordinators in the afternoon to watch the film from tonight. And then everyone in our program will have Saturday off. And then what I told everyone in the locker room just now is we will have a team meeting at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, and I'll tell them at that point who our next opponent is.
Tony, we had 2 penalties for 7 yards at halftime and 4 for 33 yards in total. Are we maturing as a team?
That's interesting how you phrase that. If we're maturing as a team, I think and I don't want to talk out of both sides of my mouth. I do believe you get what you coach, meaning you get what you emphasize as a coach. We've been dead last, I think, in the country in penalties coming into tonight. We coach it hard every week. We watched a penalty cut up this week on video of our own penalties, and we talk about it at length last night, this morning, before kickoff again as a team. So, I think we're improving. We're getting better. We play very, very fast. We try to play fast. Our guys have got a lot of speed. We're aggressive. So, sometimes there's those type of penalties that you fall into at times, playing aggressive and playing fast. What I liked, tonight is other than Kenneth Farrell got one that certainly we don't condone, but the false starts we didn't really see those tonight, which we had in games past. We had another intentional grounding call for the second consecutive game. We had Farrow, so again I think I am pleased. If we're maturing, I can answer that better if you're asking me that question maybe 3-4 weeks from now. Coach, you just had another game with 3 or 4 penalties. If it becomes consistent, I'd say yes. And we do need to be consistent in terms of what I call not cheating when you play football, not having to hold and commit penalties offensively or defensively. And we had one, in fact, in the return game, I think, on kickoff return tonight.
Coach, considering how large that offensive pass interference penalty was that kind of a sense of relief after this game that you guys won?
No. I mean, there's no sense of relief. No. I guess I'll just say no. Yeah.
Coach, can you talk about Greenberry having another big game, obviously another game?
Well, and he's, Deontay is a competitor, wants to win first and foremost. He was as happy as anybody in that locker room after the game. He would like us to throw him the ball certainly on every down, and that's why he's so good. And I love that about him. But he's not selfish, so I don't want anyone to take that the wrong way, because he wants to win. And I said this earlier this week, it's fun watching Deontay Greenberry when one of his teammates scores a touchdown, because he is so excited. He goes over and celebrates with him, picks him up. He's the ultimate team player. But again, another big game, and I think teams certainly recognize going in he's our leading receiver. We throw the football quite a bit, so teams are doing some more things now to try, and we're going to try to take him away, and that's where an emergence of an Aaron Johnson making the catches he did tonight, and certainly Daniel Spencer, Wayne Beadle against Rutgers had a couple catches, DeMarcus Ayers against Rutgers had the touchdown. So we're spreading the ball around. Xavier Maxwell, the first touchdown of the game. Markeith Ambles from the field view, I thought he played a good game tonight. So we got a lot of weapons, and again, Deontay is becoming a leader for us in only his second year in our program.
I don't know, obviously the defense didn't play perfect, but you think they kind of showed, because they didn't get a turnover until the end of the game, if they could slow teams down without getting turnovers, you think they pulled it themselves?
Well, again, we're never gonna play perfect. We certainly aren't gonna coach perfect. It's fun watching those guys fly around. I thought they made some plays when we needed plays to be made. They held them to some field goals at times down the red zone when certainly South Florida was trying to get 7 rather than 3. So at the end of the day, again, proud of our defense, their performance, their effort. I thought their tackling was good. We had guys that just kept competing, kept battling, kept fighting. Trayvon Stewart got nicked up a little bit with his leg, came out, said I'm fine, went back in the game. We just want to do whatever they can to be 1-0 tonight and get the victory.
Just real quick on the change of Kyle Bullard and Richie.
Yeah, it's Richie Leone is as talented a young man that we have in our program, and we've certainly got some talented student athletes, and I think comparing him to some of the others may be certainly apples and oranges, but he's as good a punter and kickoff guy and field goal kicker as there is in the nation. I think I knew this going into the season. I think asking one person to do all those things is challenging. I don't know that everybody understands, well, what's so hard about kicking a field goal and punting a football? You do it 15 times a game. How hard is it? But it would be like asking a professional golfer then to take a baseball bat and hit a 90-mile-an-hour curveball. It's two completely different mechanics and techniques and fundamentals. So I just felt like I needed to take a little bit off of him. He's punting the ball as good as anybody in the country. He's kicking off as good as anybody in the country. And Kyle Bullard's a young man's been in our program. Got him some experience earlier this season against Southern and UTSA. And we chart those guys every week in practice. And Kyle in practice was making 92% of his field goals. And I just felt like it was going to be a chance to give him an opportunity. And I thought he did a nice job tonight.
Is that why you decided not to redshirt him, because you thought you might need him later in the season?
No, Kyle Bullard he's not a freshman. Kyle is I want to say he's a redshirt sophomore. Yeah, he's a walk-on. He's been in our program for a couple of years. Yeah.
Richie will handle the punts, and Kyle will do the
Yeah, Richie will continue to handle punts and kickoffs.
PATs
Yeah.
and field
Yes. Anything else
Any injuries?
from tonight
Yeah.
in the game? Not that I remember. Any injuries, David? No. You're fine? Yeah. All right. Thank you.